Hey guys, Caya here. In this video, I'm going to do a tutorial on projecting revenue for an e-commerce platform using our financial model template. So if you already have the model, this is the right place to be. This is the tutorial that you were looking for. If you don't have the model, I'm going to link that in the description. The model is completely free for anybody in our Founders Edition plan, but it's also available as a one-off purchase. Also, make sure that you've already watched the video that goes over the basics of our spreadsheet. In this video, I'm going to be mostly focusing on the projections and the revenue sheets. But if you want a deeper dive into how the rest of the document works, you want to make sure you check that video out. I'll link it in the description as well. Let's get to it. So this is the e-commerce financial model. Now, the idea of a company that we had for this model is a company that resells third-party products, right? So you maybe use drop shipping or you just purchase those products, keep them in warehouse, but you resell products that you don't manufacture. So it doesn't account for the manufacturing process or the logistics of that. It only accounts for your product margins, if you will, on the products that you sell. So the first part of the projections we have here, first we have the product launch, which you can set to whatever that you want, and then you have the average order size. So the average order size may come from just a combination of multiple items that get ordered, right? Again, it's not a single item. It's not the average pricing of the products that you sell. It's the average order size, which may be made up of multiple products. Again, the model doesn't really care how many products you sell. It's much more about what the margin of those products is. So let's say that the average order size is, I don't know, $92, and that your average product margin is 30%. So on a $92 order, you're earning $27, and the products are costing you $64 on average. That's more or less the idea. So that margin is that 30% is that 27. So next up is shipping and fulfillment, and we even have some functionality to let you sort of estimate how your shipping and fulfillment may evolve. For example, as you start, your shipping may be more expensive, but you can assume that the shipping costs are, could increase or decrease. Most of the time they will decrease as you get more volume. So maybe you'll say that every month on average, your shipping cost is going to decrease by 25 cents. And that's going to get to a minimum of $8 per order on average. Likewise, you can assume that that cost could go up and just use a positive number instead of a negative. Okay, so all these costs are going to be translated automatically into your cost of goods sold, of course. So no need to worry about that. So let's look into website sales. Website sales works almost the same as mobile app sales. So I'm going to do one explainer and then I'm just going to talk about the differences. So on website sales, we have two ways to acquire customers. One of them is organic traffic and the other one is paid traffic. We also have an active user base. So we also have the possibility of estimating repeat orders. We'll get to that. So with organic traffic, what we're assuming is all the traffic that you can drive to your website that doesn't directly correlate to how much you're spending. So that's a combination of social media, press, brand awareness, billboards, SEO, people discovering your platform, people discovering your shop. So the point of this is that there's a marketing budget here, and that's the way the model starts. It starts with a budget that you expect to focus or to dedicate to organic traffic. But that budget is not connected to the actual traffic that you generate. Why? Because with organic traffic, for example, with PR, you might get a lot of visits from a single article, so it's not directly proportional to how much you're spending. Of course, you could set this to 0, assume that you're spending 0, and still assume that you have traffic, but that would be unrealistic. Ideally, this should be somewhat correlated, and it depends on what your strategy will be. But what you can define here is a starting marketing budget, a monthly budget increase, and a maximum budget. And all of those expenses, or investments, if you will, are going to be added automatically here into the SG&A sheet. So you'll see the marketing budget. This is the organic website promotion. That's just going to be added automatically. You can define when those efforts kick in, which may be different from the date in which you launch your platform or your shop. And then you have the starting budget, the monthly increase, and the starting traffic, monthly increase, and the maximum possible traffic. So if you go to revenue here, you'll see how when you launch, you're going to have paid website, website sales, organic traffic. So you're going to have organic traffic here, and that's going to increase by 10% month over month until it gets to a maximum. This maximum you can define here, assuming maybe you can look into a competitor and figure out how much traffic they have. And you can assume, well, we're probably not going to be bigger than X e-commerce platform. So we can assume that we're going to cap our traffic, our organic traffic at that. So if you say it's 500,000, for example, you come to revenue, you'll see how it gets capped at 500,000 whenever you reach that goal. Next up, it's paid traffic. So paid traffic is visits that you drive directly with your budget. So those are clicks on Facebook or on Instagram or any on any digital advertising platform. So literally the number of visits that you get is it's directly correlated to how much marketing budget you're spending. So you're starting with 3,000, increasing by 1,000, getting to $25,000 maximum, and then the expected cost per visit here is $0.50, 50 cents. So if you go here and you see paid traffic, so this is the budget, but then you have paid traffic here. That's the budget of $25,000, and then $0.50 per visit. That's 50,000 visits, and you can estimate how that looks. Cool. So next up is orders. So how many orders are we getting? Now, these different traffic sources may convert differently. For example, if you're doing organic traffic and you have a blog that generates a lot of traffic, not all of those blog visits are going to generate sales. So your conversion rate, you're going to have a lot of traffic, but your conversion rate is probably going to go down. On the other hand, if you don't have a blog, if all you're doing is just positioning your products very well with SEO, many of the customers that land in those products might convert. So your conversion rate will probably be higher, but your traffic will probably be lower. So the point here is we have different conversion rates for organic traffic and for paid traffic. 5% for organic, 10% for paid. These are just placeholders, and you'll see how they affect orders. So we have orders from organic, orders from paid traffic. We're tracking conversion rate here as a percentage. You can see that. And then we have the orders per active customer, and then which brings me to active customers. Okay, so active customers in the model refers to customers that might make repeat orders. So the way it works is we're going to assume here that a certain amount of the customers who made the first order will become regulars or active customers in your platform. So right now we're saying that 50% of them will become active customers, meaning they will make another order next month and into the future. So into the model here, we see that there is a number of active customers on the platform that got added, and those active customers are making additional orders. Now for the active user base, you have a churn rate, which is the inverse of the retention rate, meaning how many active customers you lose every month. And you could say that out of those active customers, you're going to lose a certain amount that are not going to become active, that are not going to be active customers next month. And then you're going to have the average orders per active customer per month. Meaning, you could consider an active customer somebody who makes an order of an average of $92 every other month. And that may vary drastically from platform to platform. The point is that in here, we're going to add the total number of orders from all those three sources, from your organic traffic, from your paid traffic, and from your active customers to give you a total number of orders. Of course, we're going to multiply that by the average order size, which is 92, and that's going to give us our final revenue for that month. Now, the mobile app model works exactly the same, except you're converting people from app downloads into, from organic downloads to the app into customers who make a purchase, but it's essentially the exact same thing. And you can control that from here. You can enable, disable, brand awareness budget, same as before, organic app installs, and then conversion rate, cost per install, and then active user base, just like before. Cool. Last but not least, we have the cost of goods sold. So what we're doing here is we're looking at the estimated cost of shipping per order, which is what we're affecting here. We're starting at 10 and decreasing by a quarter every month down to a minimum of $8, and you can see that here. And then we're going to take the number of orders from websites and the shipping cost, the number of orders per website for the website, and assume and take in your margin. So if you say that your margin was 30%, that means that each order that you get is going to cost you $64. So those $64 we're going to use here to estimate the cost of serving those website sales. Same for the shipping costs. This is on a per order basis. And finally, the payment processing costs, which you can control here, which is, if you're using Stripe or Shopify, there's going to be a fee per order, depending on what plan you're on. But usually the minimum is going to be 2.9% plus 30 cents per order. That's usually the average. So those numbers all get estimated here. Now, the really cool thing about this is that you can look into this and go to financial statement month and look at your gross margin and see how that's evolving. So your gross margin for this company is around 18%. The gross profit is this. So basically that's the money that you have left after fulfilling your orders to cover your operational costs, your marketing costs, your payroll, and hopefully your profit. Cool. So that's that for the e-commerce model. I think it's actually pretty simple and pretty straightforward. One thing that you can do as you move forward and as you start experimenting with the numbers here, ideally, this document should become a document that you use on a regular basis, ideally with some real numbers after you launch your platform on your actual growth and your actual conversion rate, and that's going to make the model much more accurate. But ideally, this should become a document that you visit, on a weekly basis, maybe. One thing you can do here is just pick a random month and look into that scenario and see if it's realistic, right? You're spending $25,000 a month on promoting the website. You have 46,000 active users, and you're generating $35,000 orders per month, and then that translates into $3 million in revenue. So just look into it, make sure that you have those numbers and that they make sense. I forgot to mention this part here, which is the orders that require assistance. So you can assume, the model lets you assume that X% of orders will require customer support or will require a refund or any interaction with your team. So that here in revenue is going to let you estimate how many orders require assistance. And then you can estimate how many support tickets can a single agent handle, right? So you can say, well, a support agent will be able to handle around 500 tickets per month. So the model will automatically tell you how many agents you need to fulfill that demand, depending on the number of orders. And it's going to automatically add those agents here on your payroll. So if you go to support, that number is going to be added automatically, as you can see. And those are going to be hired, if you will, automatically. You can control their salary and their benefits and all of that from here, from the teams and salary sheet. Cool. So that's that for the e-commerce model. Hopefully that helps clear things up. Just a quick side note here. If you need any assistance with the model, you can book a call with our team. So you can use this link to book a call with our experts. We have a team of financial model experts that can answer any questions that you have, or that can even jump into the model and make adjustments or customize it if you need to. The standard rate is $79 for a 30-minute call, in which if you have your model in a Google Sheet, they'll be able to jump in, edit, and of course answer any questions that you might have. If you need a more customized model that maybe this one doesn't adapt to what you need, there's a link here as well. You can get a custom model and you can just book a call with our sales team and they'll be able to come up with a quote for you. Hopefully this is useful. Best of luck using the model. Best of luck running your estimations. We'll see you next week.